Hey guys, it's me, Melanie. I wanted to talk to you about something more serious than normal today. Excuse me as I record outside. I had made a video and somehow, some way, my computer didn't like the clip. I have no idea, but it won't let me edit it. So I'm going to do a new one and explain something very important that has happened to our family. Well, my husband. It was a bit of a traumatic experience, and so I had actually recorded some videos a couple weeks ago about the situation, but then I just decided not to put them on. They were so just really, it was sad, and we were concerned for him, and we really wanted more positive things. But we've had a little bit of a crazy last month with, you know, Noah lacerated his leg. My husband, we discovered had COVID unknowingly. And then my grandmother too, she suffered from COVID. She died and came back to life, and that's a whole nother story. And so I just really wanted to talk to you just briefly, and I won't take much of your time. But so let me explain a little bit of a situation with my husband. And the reason why I'm telling you this is I don't like to get too personal about things, but I have to tell you why I'm talking about this. So my husband, a couple weeks ago, I had recorded this. I probably won't add the videos at the end of this. I think I'm just going to do a summary, simple, all, you know, just put it out there. So my husband, he had some congestion, just like kind of allergy related, I don't know, symptoms. It's harvesting time in the Midwest, and he's been working up north and down south, you know, just everywhere, and mainly around harvest fields. So we're like, oh, it's the, you know, season changing, and so that's what we rounded it up to. You know, we just summarized, oh, it's just the season change. But then he started getting a headache, no fever, no cough, just kind of like an agitated, like a, it wasn't like a, I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't anything serious, what we thought. Next thing we know, his head gets, you know, he's hurting, his head's pounding, it doesn't go away for days, and we're like, okay, that's weird. So he goes into a hospital to go get checked because he's starting to get concerned. It was after hours from an urgent care because he works really long hours. And so he went into a city, and because he was working in North Dakota, he had to go into a city, and he talked to them about what was going on. So my husband went into the hospital, he told them what happened, and they said, oh, you know, it sounds like dehydration and blood pressure, hypertension. And so they go in, they check him. He's like 200 and something, over 111. A couple times it was really, really high, and they're like, oh yeah, we need to do something pretty quick. Sorry, Noah's hanging out with me. So they take him in, and they kept checking his blood sugar too. And so they gave him some fluids for dehydration because he doesn't drink a lot of water. And then they kept checking his blood pressure, and they said, you know, we really need to give you anticoagulation injections in your abdomen. So they did a lot of those, and because they thought he was about to have a stroke. They're like, this is serious, you need to do this. And so after talking to some other people and medical professionals and family members, he decided to go ahead and do it, and praise God he did. So he got the injections. They did MRIs, CAT scans, all these different things, and all the, you know, brain, heart, kidneys, everything. And my arm's burning, sorry. So they did all the scans, everything came back okay. He just had, his blood was thickening. So the anticoagulation wound up working after all. His blood pressure eventually dropped in with medicine. So that was like, wow, that was great. We still needed to know why, because he's never had blood pressure issues. So we found out that he, after a doctor's appointment, that basically the doctor said, hey, you had COVID symptoms. And I don't know, this is another doctor in another place, I don't know why the hospital didn't test you for COVID. And so they didn't test him for COVID. They had no idea, he had no idea. And then he did an antibody test, and he still hadn't had, when he went to the doctor again, he still hadn't had his sense of smell and all that went away. And the doctor's like, yes, you had COVID. Sure enough, the antibody test came back. He was negative for active COVID, but he had antibodies for the COVID. So with that being said, we found out through other sources in our local area that there's families that have died because of hypertension with COVID. I never knew anything about that. So I'm not trying to spread fear or panic or anything like that. I want families to be healthy and strong and, you know, everything like that. So I wanted to communicate and tell people, hey, keep an eye on that. Some people just think it's the automatic pneumonia or whatever. I thought I had it in July, but I wasn't sure because it was different than what CDC said. So I thought, oh, well, I guess not. And I found out from a medical professional that it could have been. So I have to have an antibody test now. And thankfully, I like have no life and go nowhere. I mean, I stay with the kids and everything. We do everything here, but it's scary. So with all that being said, it's definitely good to get an antibody test, but it's definitely good that if you have hypertension, like suddenly come out of nowhere and you're not used to having it, or you just see this sudden spike of headache and cold and whatever, definitely get tested. You know, I was really shocked, and I'm very grateful for the medical professionals that took care of my husband, and I'm very grateful for all of those who prayed. And so if you're watching this and you were on my Facebook and praying with us, thank you so much. It was quite a roller coaster, and I'm so grateful that he's okay. So I just wanted to let you know. Oh, also my grandma too, she had the typical one that you hear about, the COVID that you hear about. She had actually passed away. She came back, they resuscitated her, and she came back. The doctors gave her like no hope. She had double pneumonia, and they took her off life support and was like, well, we'll just keep her medicated as she goes. She's 94, you know. She made it, and she's doing good. And somebody the other day happened to take like a fast food meal to her, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that's awesome. But you know, I would want her eating healthy soups and stuff, but she's doing good, and you know, she's been through a lot. So I'm like, well, if she wants that burger, let her have the burger. So yeah, so you know, it's just been a little bit crazy. So our videos are a little behind. I am catching up, but I wanted to communicate the seriousness of the hypertension part of the COVID, because a lot of doctors don't know about this. So I hope this helps. I hope I didn't scare you or anything, but I just wanted to educate others and inform others. I am not a medical professional, but I have witnessed it myself with my husband, and heard of a local family as well going through the same thing. So I was hoping it could help somebody. So anyways, I hope you guys have a good day. More videos are coming soon. Noah, you want to say bye?